Hello, this is Annie Sloan.
And I'm Tristan Merriam.
And this is The Colourist.
A podcast all about colour and its influence on our lives. Now, a slightly more unusual episode this time, as we are not really concentrating on one of your chalk paint colours, but a fabulous colour, nevertheless, gold.
Well, some people
Is
say
it
it's
a colour?
not a... Yeah, I thought you might ask,
Yeah.
is it a colour? I'm not sure, really. I mean, I'm just using it as something you can decorate with, and it's another colour. So I don't care, really.
No,
Is it a colour?
we'll call it a colour for
Let's-
today,
I
because this
think
is the
so.
Colourist.
Yeah.
So we have to, otherwise it would make no sense.
Quite.
So thinking about your range, and obviously usually we're linking this to a colour, you've got many gold products within the range. So tell us a little bit about how they play a part within your business.
Well, always had gold leaf, because gold leaf is essential. But I have to tell you, it's not gold leaf, of course. I know. Shock horror.
Oh gosh, I thought it was cheap.
If it was real gold, one, it would be incredibly difficult to use. You'd have to be, I mean, it's just so difficult. It's a whole other thing. We use something which is brass. It looks like gold. And when you wax it, I can tell you, you can't tell the difference. So that's why we use that. You wax it with clear wax, of course, and you can also do a little bit of dark wax.
Oh yes, beautiful.
It looks gorgeous. So we have other things. We have various paints and waxes and all sorts. I'm not going to be specific, really. I'm just going to be talking about gold because I do think it plays a major part in decorative art. And I want people to think of it not just as, the gold room with the chandelier and the little bits of pieces, the Rococo, 18th century, all of that. That is part of the story of gold, but it's so much more than that.
Absolutely. Lots and lots to talk about, actually, with this colour.
Yeah.
So why is gold so important today? Because I think I see a lot of gold on social media when I'm seeing people's homes, whether they're, professionals or not. Gold features quite heavily at the moment, I would say.
Yes.
Are we just in a newfound gold era, or do you think it's been timeless and there's always been a lot of gold?
It's always timeless. It's timeless. But I would say that at the moment, because we're going through a little period of, I'm not going to say recession, but we're always being a little bit tighter. We're not spending out so much as we used to. Those are the times when people use more gold because they like to feel more affluent.
That's interesting.
It is really interesting.
Yeah.
So in the time when everybody had loads of money and was spending madly in the 80s and whatever, it was all about shabby and being a bit poor and like, this is my castle.
This old thing.
This old
cobbled
thing.
together.
Yeah, this is my castle, but of course we have no money and we like to look like some old farm shed that we live in.
Yes.
It's all of that. Now it's not, this is about looking affluent.
I have no money,
Yes.
so we're all broke, but I'm going to pretend I do by having as much gold in the house as possible.
Yeah,
I get that. I
think it's a lovely idea. I think the whole thing about painting and art and decorating is it's a feel-good factor. We do it because we want to feel nice.
That really, I think we should have said that on episode 1, because that does sum it all up, doesn't it? Why are we doing all this? Because it's fun and it makes us feel good. And that's why you want your home, hopefully, to be a certain way, because it's your space.
Yep.
And it should make you feel good. And the same with painting furniture.
Yeah.
We're going off on a tangent, but you should paint furniture because you enjoy the process.
Yes.
It should be fun. So why is gold so important when talking about interiors? What does it do to a space? Does it elevate the space? Does it do something in terms of light in a space? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it can certainly elevate a space, and depending how you use it, it gives it another aspect. One, because of the light, it gets attention, it glitters, and it's deeper. It changes very, very strongly, whereas colours don't change that much. They do a lot, actually, but not like gold. And so it does the two things.
A new dimension.
A new dimension, exactly.
And the same with painted furniture. So obviously that question was really about a room.
Yeah.
But on a piece of furniture, often, you know, the hardware is gold or brass, but that is done because it brings in a new element to it and it catches the light and it just stands against the backdrop a little bit more.
Yeah. Totally, I think all of those things. And it can be used in conjunction or as a decorative area around it. So it could be like, the obvious one is a frame.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, everyone goes, oh, gold, oh, right, a frame. And of course, yes, lots of beautiful, beautiful frames. And the traditional one was to have primer red behind and the gold underneath, and you would rub through and you would see some of the red showing through. And that's beautiful. But that's not the only way you can use it. But generally, that's where people have got it. And then there's other things.
When thinking about gold, then, and I am just thinking off the top of my head here, what came first, gold or colour? You know, pigments. If we're thinking way, 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 way back, what do you think sort of was discovered first? Would it have been some pigments and colours, then gold, and then more colours?
Really good question, because we don't really know, because what we do have Egyptian stuff, that is amazing, but the Egyptian art we have would be, you know, they were Ramesses II in his incredible pyramid with all his gold, because he was fabulously rich, and his sarcophagus would be painted with paint with gold. But for your average person, they would have found gold. And there's gold in Africa very, very, very early on, in Ghana in particular. And so people knew about it. At what point they put them together, I'm not really, really certain. But actually, I've just found that's really exciting, the fact, you know, African art, Ghanaian masks, and so they probably had gold as well. So, you know, this isn't just about Egyptian or whatever, it's everywhere.
And it's been around for a long time.
Absolutely.
I suppose is the point. Have pigments, but we're going off slightly from pigment to gold, which is a different thing altogether. And what does it symbolise? Because we've had discussions previously, and you've said there's two very different things it can signify. Yeah,
well, I mean, I think at one point it's like in medieval paintings, it's used to decorate the halos and a gold background. So in Byzantine art, in the mosaics, and so lots and lots of gold there, and in medieval paintings, obviously, it's there as a praise to God and all the rest of it, and probably in every other religion too, great praise to God. But it's also used to signify greed, because, you know, there are some works of art. A recent one is there's a gold toilet that was made by, I think it's an American painter, or is an Italian artist, I can't remember. And that was about greed. Okay, so...
Nobody needs a gold toilet, do they?
Well, and that's fairly, yes. I mean, things like gold toilets or gold taps.
Okay.
It's just, you don't need it. It symbolises something a bit gross.
Okay. Oh gosh, we've just chosen a gold tap for our new kitchen. Am I gross?
I hope it's real gold.
Oh, of course. But that leads on to my next question, in terms of gold being seen as traditional. Because I speak to a lot of people in the shop and they say, oh no, we're a silver house, or no, we're gold. Because you're thinking of modern homes having chrome fixtures and fittings.
Yes.
And therefore they think they cannot incorporate gold into their interior design. So how do you feel about that? Is it a too big a problem to solve?
I think if it's gold and you love it, buy it. If it's silver, you love it, buy it. I think sometimes for yourself, skin colour, I think I look better with silver. But, you know, I mean, it's really not...
But I think that's what puts a lot of people off choosing gold things, because of something so ridiculous as their door handles, because they're seen as a silver house, which I suppose it's any metallic we're talking about. Obviously, we're talking about gold specifically, but when we say gold elevates a space, that can be any metallic, because it does the same thing.
Yeah. I think I'm going to concentrate on... Yeah, I mean, there are so many. There's aluminium, there's silver, there's
It's a new dimension.
copper, and all of those. They're all different things. And I think, you certainly can mix it up a bit.
I think so.
But I mean, I know there are purists. I'm certainly not a purist, and I believe in having an eclectic mix.
Me too, absolutely.
I love all sorts of stuff, yeah.
So we're going to link gold way back to the early 1900s and focus on a particular artist, Gustav Klimt.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to say that word without putting a P in there. It's Klimt. Hard to say.
Many of you will know him because you'll have seen something called The Kiss. And it's a very, very famous painting. And people, I think actually, when you first get into art, it can be something that people first see. And it is astounding and amazing.
I'm looking at it right now.
Very special, isn't it? Do you want to describe
beautiful.
it?
So and we were saying before we started recording, it's very hard to photograph gold because it can often look quite yellow or quite brown, but you can only imagine what this looks like in real life. But it's, two people embracing, and the man is draped in a gold cape, shawl, and he is sort of cradling a woman in his arms, and they're standing on a bed of flowers, which contradicts the gold everywhere. So there's a lot of colour in this picture. There's an awful lot of gold, but what's surprising to me is there's a lot of purples and lavenders and reds and blues, and they really have brought in a lot of colours, and there's also a lot of black and white and grey in it. So there's a lot going on, but it's a very strong image.
Yeah. What I'd like to also say is that the faces, the head and the hands are sort of three-dimensional. They're real, you can see, but the rest of it is quite flat.
Flat. Outlines,
and
almost.
Well, yes, I mean, it's there's the fact that there's a body underneath there. Hardly you can see. You can just see a faint outline of a female figure, but not really. And it's the pattern there, which is so fascinating. And I think that's what people have loved. And for me, the decorative aspect of that is too. I like the faces, but I think they've become a cliche, and too many people do those faces now. And it's I'm not one for cliches.
No.
I would rather concentrate on the fabulous pattern making,
yes,
which is glorious. There are squares and circles and rounds.
Lots of triangles.
Triangles, yeah, sort of.
The more you look and zoom in,
yeah,
the more you can appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this gold, naive question, is it gold paint? Is it gold leaf?
Gold leaf.
What sort of gold is
gold
this?
Leaf.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be real gold leaf. He went through an incredible period of about 8 or 9 years, from 1901 precisely to 1909, and he just went through this gold period, and he used real gold leaf. Yeah.
And in all of his work, is he known for gold?
Well, no, he did lots of work previously to that, which wasn't using gold, but he went through this period of doing all this, and then of course there's a couple of other really, really famous paintings that he did. One is Judith and the Head of Holofernes, and that's similar. Have you got that picture as well? We'll show that when I do the podcast.
Yes, I do have this. It's beautiful.
And I think she's fabulous.
It's like a photograph, the face.
Her face.
It's incredibly well done, if I do say so myself. Art critic. I think that could be a photograph, the face.
Yeah,
I think it's
right.
Incredibly realistic.
Yes.
But then she's adorned with all of this gold, and then the actual frame itself is more gold, and lots of decorative features on the frame itself with little squiggles and circles. Yeah, I think that's a really striking
image. And the Head of Holofernes down on the left, you see?
Yes.
Lovely, isn't it?
Well, that's I'm sort of drawn to the top section where you're looking at all the gold and the pattern and this face, this amazing face, and then yes, you do think, hang on a sec, what's that down there?
I
A dark, gloomy figure in the corner, which is
but again,
a complete contradiction.
Yeah, but again, decoratively, this is really inspiring for
Mm-hmm.
people who are decorative painters, because you can see there's sort of leaf shapes and tree shapes, and then he's got these sort of blobby, funny borders. It's all delicious.
Well, it's very decorative, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's truly decorating the piece. He's got his image, but then he's using all of the backgrounds and the gaps to just make patterns and have fun with that. And I suppose that's what attracted you to his work?
Yes, again, I think her face is amazing, but what I really love is all the decoration around it and the flatness of it, and how it's quite medieval, which I really like. I love all that medieval stuff.
Which is a bit of a contradiction to squiggles and patterns and decorative mark making. It's a funny mix.
Yeah, but if you look at the medieval stuff, it's got lots of spots and dots and lines. You know, people have always loved doing all of that sort of thing.
We like a doodle.
We do like.
Was his work then at the time? So he was Austrian, early 1900s. Was his work quite controversial to his peers at the time?
It was very, very controversial.
Right.
So,
good question.
Good
and why?
question, and quite interesting, because we've just we did previously the thing about Ballet Russe, and what they were doing was going against. It was a turn of the century. People were going against what had been before, and they wanted to do new things, new era. And so what he was doing was going against a traditional Viennese academy. He came from Vienna in Austria, and he was going against everything that had been before. And so he was, he loved all this very decorative. I mean, I would say more decorative art than anything. And he loved the fact that it was cocking a snoop to the establishment. He did some
good saying.
Cock a snoop.
Yeah.
Good one.
You don't hear that very often. It's a good one.
Stick around with me.
Yes, I like it.
He loved... now I've gone.
Sorry, and I was thinking,
Cock-a-snoop.
I was going to say, I don't want to get the saying wrong and mix the words up. And anyway, a whole tangent. He was going against his peers and with a lot of pattern making and more decorative.
And he also, he was a bit racy, I was going to say. He was a bit racy.
Well, yes.
And he loved women, and he did a lot of paintings of women. And there's a famous one where he's painted this woman, and you can just see her bottom. And it's a very beautiful bottom, quite a large early turn of the century bottom. She was lovely.
Okay.
And he wanted what it was meant to say was, I'm showing my arse to the establishment. And he wanted to write something, I think, or say something. Anyway, he didn't. He wanted to call it something really
really obvious.
But and he was... persuaded not to.
Okay.
But when you know the story, I'd never known the story. I'd always seen this beautiful painting. Anyway, I think I've only seen photographs, and I got a feeling it was a lot of this stuff was ruined, or destroyed by the Nazis.
Okay. Where can his work be seen then nowadays?
Well, actually everywhere. It's a little bit of one or two things all over the world. But the two paintings which I think are really worth seeing, one is The Kiss, which is in the Belvedere.
The one we spoke of first?
The first one, yeah. And that is in the Belvedere, which is in Austria, I think in Vienna. And the other one is the painting of Adele Bloch-Bauer. And there's a famous film of this, about this painting, called The Woman in Gold. It's got Helen Mirren in it. It's I thought it was a really good film, and that tells the story. But I'll tell you briefly what happened. And that painting, by the way, is in New York, in the New Gallery in New York. So I mean,
so we're going to go to Vienna first.
Yeah, and then we're going to.
And then we'll go to New York.
Is that all right?
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
I'm there. But what's the story? Yeah, that sounds like.
So it's a great story. A terrible story in a way. So it was painted by Klimt for the husband commissioned it of his beautiful, beautiful wife, and you can see in the painting she was exquisite. And during the war, it was stolen by the Nazis, and they put it in the Belvedere along with the kiss. And later on, the grandniece of this Adele claimed it and said, actually, no, it's ours. The Nazis, or the Germans rather, said, no, she had said in her will, I'm leaving it to the Belvedere. But actually, it wasn't hers to give. It belonged to her husband. And he had said in his will that I'm giving this to my nieces and nephews
They were
and
right.
my family. And so...
Don't spoil the ending of the film. You were about to say, so what happened? You can't now, because we're all going to watch the film.
Well, I'll just say that it's available to be seen in America.
Okay. Oh, I think we know then. I think we know. Oh, well, good on her. Good on her, I say.
Yeah, she sold it to somebody for 135 million,
God.
Which, I mean, it doesn't seem that much now. I mean, God, look at me. Yeah, it's a lot of money. But I think the painting's probably risen in value since then, hugely.
And it is gold.
And it is gold.
So there's an actual price attached to that as well.
I suppose so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very beautiful.
So Klimt was very successful at the time, in his time, or did his work become more well known?
I think he's very popular, really, incredibly.
Since his death.
Yes, and those last paintings, all the gold paintings, he stopped doing those in something like 1909. He died 9 years later, so...
Yeah.
The gold painting, this one by of Adele, is actually not that big, which I find rather amazing. Well, it's 140 centimetres square, which again is an unusual size for paintings. I've talked many times in other things about square being a difficult size because there's no dimensions, there's no dynamic.
Hard for bodies.
Yeah. So that actually I should do that in inches, 55 quarter inches by 55 1/4 inches. So quite big. I mean, to be covered in gold.
Absolutely. I think it was. I would have imagined them to be smaller.
Yeah. And this is similar to the other one we talked about in that there's amazing design all over it. And it's all very, very gold and a little tiny bit of red, a tiny bit of blue,
But if you zoom in, it's got those decorative details which make it doubly wonderful because it's impressive on first glance because of the gold. Yeah. But then you zoom in and you get all these amazing, intricate little pathways of patterns happening. It's really good. Did his style soon become imitated? Then he did something quite new and a bit more risky.
Yeah.
Did others start to
the zeitgeist, the thing that's going around all over the world is all this new stuff. So Klimt comes from this. Vienna was very Art Nouveau, so it's all very Art Nouveau and flowing and stuff. He starts to get into, it's all flowy, but it's also going into Art Deco. So he's got sort of slightly more abstract, rigid or art shape, all sorts of things which look more Art Deco. And if you look at he's earlier than Ballet Russe. If you look at Ballet Russe, there's all sorts of stuff in Ballet Russe which has got elements of Klimt. So I presume they might have been influenced by Klimt.
Oh, okay.
Because Klimt died in 1918 and Ballet Russe was still going on. So he was a bit earlier than that.
And then when does the period of Art Deco start, technically?
Oh, I don't really know, but it's usually 20s.
I thought 20s.
Yeah.
So this was sort of 10 years prior-ish.
Yeah.
And then gold took on this whole new look with Art Deco.
Yeah.
Interesting. And are there other cultures around the world that use gold in a very different or similar way?
Well, yeah, very much so. And actually, something that Klimt was influenced by was Japanese art. And there's all these incredible, both paintings and screens and all sorts of things where they've got a gold background and there are flowers and birds flying and all of that. Really, I mean, exquisite. Again, I don't like them as a whole. It's going into the detail of it that I go, oh, that is just gorgeous.
Well, so we've said previously, you're going to try and paint a piece of furniture based on the podcast episode. So if we're thinking about doing a piece, because I don't think, I may be wrong, but you don't use gold that often in your painting.
No.
So I'd be interested for you to do something. You combining a Klimt style of pattern and the decorative elements with gold.
Yeah.
I'd be very interested to see that.
Well, yes, I will be as well, actually, because I haven't used gold that much, but this is actually scratched my itch for gold, because I love it being quite modern. I love the abstract idea of it, and I love the idea of it being a bit African as well. Because for me, I want to reinvent it. I don't want to do the same old, same old. So although I absolutely adore like Swedish grand painting where there's pale blues and little bits of gold, I mean, it's exquisite. I absolutely adore it. But you are feeling like you're going after something, copying something. And one of the great things about painting furniture, you can invent your own language, your own things that you like. It's quite hard to do, especially when you've not painted before. So don't worry if I'm saying this to people and they're thinking, oh my God, I can't do that. Well, you can really. Because I always say, remember when you were a kid and someone said to you, draw a flower or draw whatever, you just did it without thinking. Sort of. So I think that's what you want to tap into. It's what they call your inner child.
I think it's absolutely the way it should be done.
Yeah.
Now, which chalk paint colours, if we're thinking about your range, work really well with golds?
Oh, okay, the list. Okay.
There's a lot, I think, right. But certain colours really don't work well with golds, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, contrasts, of course, look fantastic. So, blue, all the blues and all the blacks, so deep blues and the blacks. Pale blue looks really, really lovely, if you want that rococo-y look. But Tyrian plum, delicious.
Yes.
Tyrian plum, Athenian black, Aubusson blue,
Navy,
Oxford Navy,
all of those
gorgeous.
Capri pink.
Yes, it does. Yeah, there's a sort of looseness there going on. I know that's very you, isn't it? You like it.
Well, it really packs a punch.
It does.
It's a strong statement. Capri pink and gold. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. Interestingly, as I said in the previous episode about Ballet Russe and orange, there would be something that I would say, orange and gold, that's going to be yucky. But actually, they do it and it looks fantastic.
Well, that's very true. But yeah, I wouldn't have said orange and gold as one of the winning combinations. But yeah, you're right. But of course.
They make it look fantastic.
Is it because they combine it with so many other colours within it?
Yeah,
There's little hints of blue and hints of this. What surprised me about the Kiss, the painting we have been speaking about, is those colours in the sort of bed of flowers that they're standing on, to me, would not be colours I would put with gold.
Yeah.
And by that, because obviously you guys can't see what we're talking about, there's pale pastel-y greens, quite bright, vivid greens, lavender, purpley colours. None of those colours I would put with gold or gold leaf or anything gold. I would always choose the richer ones, but for some reason this painting works and it's very popular and successful. So who am I to judge that? But it surprises me. But is it because in that painting there's also a lot of black and it kind of, that's what grounds the gold?
I just think that gold probably goes with most things.
Maybe.
People wear golden brooches
That's
and
so
golden
true. Pastels,
jewellery.
I suppose, yeah.
They wear it with everything and everything looks good.
Maybe it's just, maybe that is it.
Yeah, maybe it does need a lot of, I don't know, but I don't think, I just looked at furl. I've got furl in my room and I'm thinking, I don't know if that would look good. And I thought, actually, it could look great. I think if you want to make it work, you'll make it work.
Yeah. The moral of the story is have a go, and if it looks horrendous, paint it a different colour.
Or put something next to it. And often adding will make it all work. So gold, I think, is... one thing I haven't talked about gold is that there are different sorts of gold throughout history. So traditional gold is probably sort of the most normal. So it's slightly red. It's got a little bit more copper in it. Or coppery look to it.
Yeah.
Not copper in it, but it's that sort of... So warm gold. Modern gold, like in a jewellery type, is more green. I mean, it's a yellowy green, not a reddy green.
Cooler.
It's cooler. If you look at Victorian jewellery, it's often warmer, lovely, rich, warm gold. Mm-hmm. And modern gold is more lemony, I suppose. But I wouldn't worry about that, because people do worry about it. I didn't just... Whatever goes with the colour. Mm. Next time on the podcast, we're going somewhere completely different, but there is a big connection. And then we're doing a little bit more travelling.
Well, that's fine. We're okay with this.
We'll travel everywhere.
Well, gold is worldwide, isn't it? But it's the places that really stick out, and China, one of them.
China is one of them.
And the other?
India.
Of course.
Okay, so look forward to that.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for listening. We will see you next time.
See you next time. And don't forget, any questions, please ask.